Ooh, doggy. What's going on, beautiful people? I hope and pray y'all are just doing incredibly well. So, a little bit of a change of pace here. I am out here enjoying the evening and my guilty pleasure of enjoying a nice hand rolled cigar. But anywho, I wanted to come on here and just really do a super casual video and just talk with y'all. I am getting so many questions about sub two deals. Taking over payments and kind of what that process looks like. And so on this video, what I want to chat with you about is when to actually offer a sub two deal. Okay. And so please like, subscribe, share all those amazing things. One of my main missions here with this channel is to give you true content that you can use. No fluff, no glitz, no glamour, no fancy intro videos of me hopping out of Lamborghinis that I don't own and all that stuff. Okay. It's just raw uh, information that you can use. Okay. As you can see here, we're just hanging out and talking. Also, check the links in the description. I have a couple of in-person events coming up and a virtual event that will be transformational for you. I promise you. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. So, what is a sub two? Let's break this down really quickly. A sub two is when you are basically taking over somebody else's payments. All right. I need you to know this is not a loan assumption. Somebody put that in the comments. Not a loan assumption. Are you with me? Those are two completely different things. So we are simply taking over the payments on the seller's behalf. You're going to be making those payments on the seller's behalf. So the property gets deeded over to you. You own the property 100%. Somebody put that in the comments. 100%. You own the property, right? It gets deeded over to you. You get the seller's not banking information, mortgage information, and you start making those payments on their behalf. You can live in that property. You can sell that property. You can rent it out. You can fix it up and flip it. You can keep it for a rental. You can do whatever you like to do with that house. Okay. And so when you take over those payments, the seller has nothing else to do with the property. They are completely done with it. All right. So that's that. Now, when do you actually offer this to your sellers? So for me, it's after I make my cash offer. So I use and base everything off of what I call the golden formula, which is 70% of the ARV after repair value minus repairs, and that is my maximum allowable offer. So let's say, for example, I have a property that's $100,000. I do 70% of that. Let's say it's 70,000. Well, that is 70% of it, 70,000, and that house needs 20,000 in repair. So my maximum allowable offer is 50,000. So let's say I go to that seller and I offer them 50,000, and they come back and say, "Hey, Clifford, that does not work for me, okay? Because I owe 72,000 on the property." And that is when I bring up sub two, not before, during, after that, once I make my traditional cash offer, okay? So you don't need to go in here and start trying to figure out what their loan information, the sun is setting over here. So that's why it's getting a little darker. But that is why you don't need to spend a lot of time on trying to figure out what their mortgage statement is and what they owe and all of that stuff. If you're listening to this and you own a home, you don't need to go to your mortgage, but I bet you have a ballpark figure on what you owe on that mortgage just by me simply asking you a ballpark figure. It doesn't have to be to the penny, but you know what you owe on that mortgage, right? Your sellers do too. So they're going to let you know very quickly if your cash offer doesn't work. And then I'll say, "Hey, Mr. Seller, in some cases like this, we have been able to take over the payments. Not all, but sometimes. Let me ask you, is that something that you're open to?" And they're either going to tell me yes or no, or what does that look like, right? And then I will go into the details about making the sub two and seeing if that's a good fit for us. Okay, so that's when I offer it. So start with your cash offer and then bring it up. All right. But y'all have a beautifully blessed day. I'm going to enjoy this sunset, my amazing cigar, no bourbon, just a nice little Topo Chico, a little mineral water. All right. But I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.